And the subject this morning is how to overcome nervousness. Now, nervousness is a state of consciousness brought about, characterized by unrest and depression, from simple jitters to a state of exhaustion. Nervous exhaustion, sometimes called a nervous breakdown. I remember one patient who came to me, the whole left side was completely paralyzed. And yet she had no stroke. It was due to complete nervous exhaustion. And so watch out for nervousness. When you feel jittery, then get busy, because it can lead, if neglected, to extreme depression. So that's what nervousness is. Now, what is the cause of nervousness? What is the cause of nervousness? It is due, of course, to a lack of control of the flow of nervous energy. In the physical nervous system, the flow of life force in the astral nervous system, and the flow of the finer mental subtle currents in the mental nervous system. We not only have just one nervous system, the physical nervous system, we have two others, astral and mental. Now, these are all interrelated. And so you can see we not only have to adjust and heal the physical nervous system, we have to take care of the astral and the mental nervous system. Now, what causes this lack of control of the energy flowing in these nervous systems, and especially the physical nervous system? It is, first, uncontrolled thought processes. That is one of the main causes of nervousness. For instance, you have seen people, and their mind is in a whirl. The thoughts are running here and there, and the nervous energy is directed by those uncontrolled thoughts so that they have no control whatsoever over that nervous flow. Now, it is that uncontrolled nervous flow in the nervous system which causes an irritated nervous system and even burned out nerves. Another cause is emotional outbursts. Temper, for instance. Another cause is any overstimulation whatsoever, like overeating, and another cause is overwork. Any overstimulation, remember, is what causes an uneven flow of life force in the body, producing either irritated nerves or sometimes burned out nerves. And so this uncontrolled nervous flow is the thing we must regulate. When the nervous system flows in a harmonious way, then all functions of the body act in a harmonious way. But when the nervous system first is surging this way as you get mad at something, and then it surges this way back and forth, no wonder the nerves are irritated, sometimes burned out. So there you have, in a few words, the cause of nervousness. And one thing in passing, I want to point out that the amount of nervous energy in the nervous system and the way it is flowing in the nervous system determines your bodily health. And the amount of life force in the ira and pingular nerves of the spine, which are behind the sympathetic nervous system, the amount of current in those two great astral nerves determines your bodily health. So it is very important that the nervous flow be harmonious, and then the whole bodily system will react in a harmonious way. Now, going on a little more to the elaboration of the causes, further elaboration of the causes of nervousness, a few things I have jotted down here. Any overdone action is the cause. Any overdone action. For instance, temper. You know temper. Temper liberates so much nervous energy into the nerves that they sometimes become burned out. And going further, there are chemicals freed into the bloodstream at an outburst of temper, with an outburst of temper, poisonous toxins. And so that is one of the greatest causes, perhaps, for nervousness. And not only nervousness, producing the ordinary nervousness, but those who have had extreme temper injure permanently the vital nerves in the spine, and such things as a degeneration of the nerves, the spinal nerves, is due sometimes to temper. So remember, we cannot afford to allow these emotional outbursts. Excess emotion is another cause, specific cause of nervousness. Remember, because the nervous energy flows in an abnormal way, irritating the nerves. If you rub your hand long enough, you'll irritate it. You'll irritate the skin. Now, if you put enough life force, nerve force through the nerves in a spasmodic way, you irritate the nerves. And above all, you disturb the harmony of our being. Another cause of nervousness is excess in sex. Sex is one of the greatest forces in the body next to self-preservation. And so, when you overexercise it, you stimulate too much the nervous system. And, as I have said, overwork, breaking health laws. Breaking health laws, overeating, undereating, and overwork. Now, when you overwork, naturally, more nervous energy flows through your nervous system, and the nervous system becomes tired. The nerves become irritated. When you overeat, you stimulate it, as I have said. Too much stimulation causes an extra flow of nervous energy down into the regions that digest your food, and they irritate those nerves. And any irritation in the nervous system causes you to be jittery. Undereating is a cause of nervousness, because all tissue must be nourished. All tissue must be nourished. And if the nerve tissue, which is a part of the whole bodily tissue, is undernourished, it becomes irritated. So there are many, those are a few, but there are many causes for nervousness, but underlying everything is the fact that the flow of nervous energy is not controlled. It is not even and smooth. And that's why the Master said, retain your calmness. Under all conditions, we must retain our calmness. And I will come to that in a moment. Now, all of these things, as I have said, either put an overdose of current into the nervous system, causing irritation, or burning out the nerves. Any of these causes will produce nervousness. So remember, the three important causes are uncontrolled thought processes. Some people cannot control the thoughts at all. Well, the nervous energy is flowing according to the direction. Sometimes here, sometimes there, sometimes there. No wonder after a while they go crazy, because you cannot stimulate the nervous tissue to that extent. So the first cause is uncontrolled thought processes. That's why Kriya Yoga and all forms of yoga are so wonderful, because they help you to quiet the mind, still the waves of the mind, and that allows the nervous system and all systems of the body to relax and be healed by God's power within us. That's why yoga is so wonderful, because it quiets the mind, stills the mind, enables you to control your thoughts. And when you control your thoughts, you are controlling nervousness if you have it. So that's the greatest, one of the greatest things is to control the thoughts. Uncontrolled thought processes is perhaps the greatest cause of nervousness. And then the other as I have said, any overstimulation in any form, remember, will cause nervousness. Even though you are doing a wonderful work. I remember we used to work in the papaya grove, long, long hours. The master said, you better cut that out. Otherwise you become jaded. So no matter whether the work is for God or not, you've got to work moderately. Any overstimulation will produce nervousness. One other note I have here is this. Remember that we have only one nervous system, and it's highly specialized, and no electrician can repair it. But one good thing, as I'll point out when we come to the cure of nervousness, is that contrary to previous beliefs, even highly specialized tissue like nervous tissue will regenerate if you give it a chance. If you stop emptying so much vital current into it, give it a chance to recuperate and heal, it will through God's power in you. Now going on just a bit, we should at this time say just a word or two about the different nervous systems. Although the time is short, I'll have to make it very short. We have, as I have said, three nervous systems, the physical, the astral, and the mental. And in the physical, of which you are familiar, we have the two brains, the cerebrum and the cerebellum. We have the spine, and we have beside the spine the sympathetic ganglia spoken of in the Bible as the two olive trees on each side of the golden candlestick. We have also the telephonic system in the physical nervous system of the nerves which communicate throughout the body. Now in the astral nervous system we have a corresponding two brains, 1,000 petal lotus plus the medulla center. And then we have the spine. The spine, the subtle spine, the spine of light, the astral spine. Remember, the astral nervous system is made up of light. And in Revelation we have spoken the 7 golden candlesticks referring to the astral spine of the 7 centers of the spine, 6 plus the brain. So we have the astral spine. We also have the era and pingular currents on the side of the astral spine, those great currents of light, astral light, energy. Those are spoken of in the Bible as the 2 olive trees on each side of the golden candlestick. And then you have, in the astral nervous system, you have the telephonic system of nerves, astral nerves, nerves of light. The 2 great ones, the era and pingula on each side of the spine, and then throughout the body, corresponding to our nervous system, are these rays of light which make up the telephonic system of the astral nervous system. So we have the same thing, only in the astral nervous system. The matrix is light, energy, life force, cosmic energy in the body. The matrix of the physical nervous system is matter. The matrix of the astral nervous system is life force, energy. And I'll tell you in a moment the matrix of the mental nervous system. Now the mental nervous system, there we have same 2 brains, cosmic consciousness plus Christ consciousness. And then we have the mental spine corresponding to deep within the physical and astral spine is the Brahmanari. There you have the mental spine. And also you have the telephonic system of mental nerves, of knowing, willing, and feeling. You see, the matrix of the mental nervous system is fine, mental subtle current, fine force, the force of God's causal power. And so there you have, briefly, and the matrix of the mental nervous system is these fine mental subtle powers. Powers whereby you can expand your consciousness into eternity. That's due to your mental nervous system, whereby you can expand your consciousness so that you have infinite perception, also so that you have the power to understand the subtle chakras of the spine, those subtle centers of the spine. How do you understand it? Through the mental nervous system, through the power, the subtle power which is in the mental nervous system. And finally, we have the power to understand all oscillations, millions of oscillations of thought. So there you have in just 2 or 3 words the different nervous systems described, showing that each one has a corresponding place with the other. They're all interrelated, every one of them. The matrix, remember now, of the physical nervous system is matter, material things, and the matrix of the astral nervous system is what? Energy. Life force, the matrix of the mental nervous system, is subtle mental power. That's how you know things. The amount of current in the mental nervous system gives you your subtle powers. The amount of current in the mental nervous system enables you to understand the chakras of the spine, perceive them, perceive an expansion of consciousness into all things. And the amount of nervous system of nervous energy in the astral nervous system depends the condition of your bodily health. Remember, the astral nervous system is behind the physical nervous system and supports it. So you can see it is very important to have a good astral nervous system. It is more important to have a top-notch mental nervous system. If we have those two, I'm pretty sure that this old physical nervous system will be all right. So they're all interrelated. That's the important thing that I want you to remember. Now, to conclude, we come to the important question: is this of overcoming nervousness? Overcoming nervousness. How are we going to overcome nervousness? The law is this: anything that nourishes any of the systems is the medicine for it. So let us take the physical nervous system first. The matrix of the physical nervous system is matter. So we've got to give it material things. We've got to give it material things. And the first thing is we must give it the right food. We must give it the right food. Meat should be avoided because of the toxins which are given off from undigested meat. Meat cannot be undigested, cannot be digested fully in our system. So there's a portion of it floats around as toxin in the body. Now remember, nervous tissue is a part of the whole tissue of the body. And anything that's a toxin to one part of the body is a toxin to another. It is picked up just the same. So meat is out. Now, we should eat live food. Foods that are alive, simple foods, natural foods. And some of the best, as the Master has given, are goat's milk, cow's milk, almonds, cottage cheese, lettuce, and one especially good drink, which those of you who were at the celebration at Encinitas not long ago, lime. Lime is one of the greatest foods for the physical nervous system. So that's the important thing. The food must be right, it must be alive, we must eat more fruit and juices, and keep away from those foods as meat which are undigested and leave toxins in the body. It is those toxins that irritate the nerves. And when you have a weak nervous system, it's very easy to irritate it more. So remember, in treating the physical nervous system to overcome nervousness, we must feed it with right food so that there are no more toxins laid up to irritate the physical nervous system. One other thing I have to speak out about healing the physical nervous system is control physical action. That is, we have to eat the right food, then we have to control our activity of the physical body. And I have named those things: overstimulation in any form, overwork, and such things. Oversex means that the body is acting in the wrong way. We have to control the physical action. So there you have the food to help heal the physical nervous system. Now let us go on next, going up the scale, so to speak, to the astral nervous system. What do you think is the food of the astral nervous system? Now remember, the matrix of the astral nervous system is life force. The life force must flow harmoniously. What is it that makes it flow harmoniously? What is it? Kriya does it because Kriya gives what? Self-control. Now remember, self-control is the food to heal the astral nervous system. Now this self-control is brought about how? It is brought about by the various techniques of self-realization fellowship. Hong Saw technique is one of the greatest because it has a direct effect on slowing down the activities of the body, such as respiration and the heartbeat. And those are carried on and influenced by the life force flowing through the various nerves of the body. And that life force in the astral nervous system is controlled and regulated by calmness, by self-control. And self-control is brought about by especially Hong Saw and the recharging exercises, because there you are controlling directly life force. And life force is the matrix of the astral nervous system. There are other things which help to control the life force in the astral nervous system, and one thing that comes to my mind is that of the bangles, which some of you need. Some don't need them. They offset the pull of the subtle forces, planetary forces, and other forces which break down our bodily tissue. Bangles control those, offset the destructive pull, and so they will help control the astral nervous system by regulating the destructive pull, which works through life force. Life force is the key to all activity. Those destructive forces work through life force just as well as the building up forces. And so such things as astrological bangles will offset the pull which functions through the astral nervous system. Another thing that will help are the cold water treatments of the yogis, which any of you who are interested, I'll tell you personally. Those have a direct effect on the life force in the body. And remember, the matrix of the astral nervous system is what? Life force. So that's the food for the astral nervous system. Self-control through the regulation of the flow of life force in the body, through the different techniques of self-realization fellowship, especially the Hong Saw technique. Now, going on, this is very important, because if you control the life force in the body by these exercises, that in turn regulates the nervous flow in the physical nervous system, allowing the physical nerves to cool off and then be healed, or be healed by divine intervention through the presence of God within us. As I have said, they used to say that highly specialized tissue will not regenerate, but they have found that it will regenerate. And even kidney tissue will regenerate. I haven't time to go into it now. Therefore, nervous tissue will be helped and regenerated and healed if you stop irritating it. If you stop pouring life force into it, it will heal itself through God's power in us. And so, even the heart tissue, not heart tissue, circulatory tissue, those who have had coronary thrombosis will find that a new collateral circulation is built around the old trouble. So you see, if we give nature a chance, by regulating the life force in the astral nervous system through self-control, it in turn helps the physical nervous system. And now finally, the food for the mental nervous system is what? The food for the mental nervous system is calmness. Calmness is the food for the mental nervous system. The Master used to say, still the waves of the mind. Still the waves of the mind. Unless we have that calmness, how How can there be an optimum flow of these subtle mental currents within us? And so, calmness is the food for your mental nervous system. The mental nervous system is the greatest nervous system because it is behind all other nervous systems. And through the different techniques of self-realization fellowship, by controlling the life force in the body, we are allowed to control the mental nervous system through calmness. And so finally, in conclusion, we might just say this, that to sum up about overcoming nervousness, obey the health laws. Obey the health laws of living. Obey the health laws also of moderation in all action. Practice self-control. Practice self-control. And if you try to practice self-control, God comes and helps you. He will help you without question of a doubt. Practice the techniques of self-realization fellowship, which enable you to feed the astral nervous system with self-control, feel the mental nervous system with calmness. The techniques are most wonderful, because you can feed your mental nervous system with calmness when you stop all movement in the body, movement of the physical body, movement of the astral body. And that can be done by the techniques of self-realization fellowship. But the greatest, remember, the greatest nerve tonic is what? The greatest nerve tonic that you can have to feed and sustain the nerves of the physical, astral, and mental nervous system is the conscious contact with God within. That's the greatest thing, because from God's consciousness have come all nervous systems, physical, astral, and mental. Now, if you have that conscious contact with Him, if you see His presence within you as the great spiritual eye, in the light of that spiritual eye, that's the greatest nerve tonic. That's the greatest thing, because the power of God is the greatest thing we have. And so, follow common sense. Obey the health laws. Do your best. Go forward. But above all, go forward with one thing: faith in God. That's the greatest tonic that you can have for nervousness.